I think you did that video about Baba Vanga and kind of like some of her predictions versus Nostradamus.
Yeah.
And I think that the kind of mystical nature of people like that are interesting, but I also feel that it gets inflated and changed over time, just like the Bible, so things get misquoted and misinterpreted.
Well, the Shibden wasn't written for 80 years.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
80 years,
Someone
long time.
scribed it down, yeah.
Long time.
But I also think 80 years compared to the Bible, which was hundreds of years, wasn't it?
400.
Yeah, so that's a big difference. And back then, the
Everyone
spoken,
forgot. Then they suddenly remember.
yeah,
Oh, we're going to write about that dude. Remember that dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
and the whole we need to create something, so we better come up with the stories quickly.
Mhm.
But she was the difference back then too is that the spoken word would have been a lot more revered and remembered.
Yeah.
Compared to now, the spoken word is kind of lost.
A lot of it would be put into song.
Yeah, so
people remember.
it seemed more lyrical, her writings, didn't it? Like
Yeah,
songs.
the poems are the same. They're recitable easier. People remember poems than just talking. If it rhymes, it's like a memory trigger.
Yeah.
So that's why they write like a spaz.
And I like the
remember
lyrical nature of hers, because it does. Like if you were saying that around the campfire, if you were saying that around the table, like they didn't have television, they didn't have all these sensory things that we have now to distract us. So
a lot of stories.
Yeah. Stories stick.
Yeah.
It's like we did it last night. We had a winter solstice campfire for the Girl Guides, and it was all about the celebration of the Yuletide, right? And so I was explaining to them what that meant to Germanic cultures thousands of years ago, but we've lost a lot of it. So now it's just combined with some of the traditions to be remembered, because we don't want to lose some of the old stuff that was taken away, during the Dark Ages and all that. But I was explaining that some of the songs that they use as Christmas carols, and one in particular, is actually a Yuletide song.
What's that? Deck the Halls?
Deck the Halls, yeah. It's got no mention of Jesus, no mention of any of the Christmas.
Maybe Jesus decked the halls real good. That was notable.
It was about the Yuletide carol. So it was about is the season to be jolly, a real happy song, because it was such a dark time of year for people that they actually spent it not as sad as everybody thinks, because they were really good at food preservation and they had downtime. So if you're plowing the fields, if you're working your ass off just to survive, and summer is your really busy period, every other season you're actually just outside every day, like trying to survive with food and trying to, keep everything running on your farm, like basically, or your village. Then winter time's a nice time to rest, right? So it is a season to be jolly. They can take it easy, they can relax, they can go a bit slower, because they're not having to be out of the fields as long as the summer solstice,
Yeah, for sure.
So for them, it was a jolly season of celebration. Obviously, when they had enough resources to survive the winter, like it's not always easy when you have a bad harvest or something like that.
Don't go and get someone else's.
Yeah, well, that's how it would have worked.
That's what I'll be telling. Growing all this crap, someone else growing it down the there.
Sounds very Viking up there. They had really good farms, actually. So they're pretty bad. They still wanted everyone else's as well as their own.
I like the shiny stuff.
Yeah. They wanted more land. They wanted expansion. It always gets to that point, doesn't it? I want more. I want more.
Yep.
I want more. When's enough?
Yep.
Well, I suppose we're like that in our humble home, aren't we? We're like, we need more land.
Yep, we do. Really do.
We would like more land.
We're going to get more land.
Yes, we're going to manifest more land. We are. A nice 33 is good.
Yeah, 33 is nice.
Yeah, so I think that a lot of the stuff that we find in terms of her prophecies are a little bit, a little bit jumbled, really hard to kind of break down.
Yeah, probably.
And Nostradamus, his quatrains are very non-specific as well, but because they were written kind of in the centuries, and nobody really knows if the centuries were ordered or if they're not, or, so people make up the idea of this is what he meant or this is what he meant.
Well, a lot of these people are totally made up. This is like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Their alter egos, they were created, their stories were created after their death even if they existed.
Yeah.
But a lot of these things, they're like written by people who
And
don't
put
want
out
their
there.
name,
Yes.
but they don't want the
yes.
title of their name
Similar to
for a
Bitcoin.
reason, similar to the Masons,
Yeah.
secret societies.
Or Bitcoin. So is
yeah.
it a construct? Who knows?
Yeah, well, if you're anonymous, then the story tends to stick better. And that's why people don't like.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, I'm going to dox myself, and they're all like, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Why?
Because they like
more
the,
believable.
yeah.
That no, it's mysterious.
Yes, people like the mystery, but also it can be a construct for control too. Like if there's mystery and people are questioning and people are trying to come up with what's happening next, when the governments or the powers that be fulfill one of those prophecies, it's like, oh, that mysterious Nostradamus thing came true.
Yeah,
Like the great fire of London. Yeah,
they probably are more like playbooks from the secret society.
Apart from Baba Vanga, she was amazing.
Yeah, well, she did exist. She's more modern. Like anything more modern, at least we can go into it and work out. Oh, look, she was real. She's actually like, sitting around doing readings. You can see it on TV.
Yeah.
She was around in TV.
She was around in more modern times.
Yeah, like, totally.
Around Hitler's time, she was still alive.
Because of who she is and she's blind and all this stuff, it suits the
mystic side. Yeah,
because people treat Baba Vanga like she is as old as, like, Nostradamus and stuff. They think it's 15, 16, 1700s or something, when she's not. But when you read about her, if you were just reading in my head, I'd get the picture that, well, this was ages ago because of the language.
Yes.
And that's reinterpreted.
Language is made reinterpreted.
You've got reinterpretation going on as well. Which can be, you can make it a bit more, wow, and then the best thing ever happened. And
a lot of things have been debunked about Baba Vanga when they've had, like articles go up online that she definitely predicted this or this. Did she?
But she's going to be wrong all the time because
she didn't necessarily say that though.
Hundreds of readings a week,
and a lot of them were
get it every time.
And a lot of them weren't transcripted. So these are people saying, "Oh yes, she definitely said that."
After the fact, again, like the Bible, like all these other books.
But we watched a series about her, didn't we? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't know what it was called, but it was a really good series.
And it was a series about her life. I can't remember. We'll find it and pop it in maybe the comments, maybe if we remember.
Anyway.
But that's a good thing to do. Like we did say, we'll have a look and find what the series was.
Yeah, we will.
But it was probably about 10 years ago that we sat and watched that. I reckon it was about 10 years ago. I feel like we... Yeah, no,
it might have been when we had Foxtels or something like that.
I feel like we were watching it in our own time. Like we were choosing when to watch it.
Downloaded things.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Or something on SBS. I don't know. But
there's a shit ton about it. You type it in, it's like overwhelming, but it's all the same content.
Yeah.
I do sometimes. It's all very short and condensed, and there's no real their story. It's just like, and she said the world will end in 2025. That's all it is. But that's all again like.
I think she basically said 3,100.
Yeah, she was talking way in the future of stuff still going around, and
But she generally, like even some of the predictions she's had recently that didn't necessarily come to pass until a few years later, or they happened beforehand. It's because timing can be one of those really tricky things to get, unless you're an astrotravelist or something like that, because when you've got a projection of an event or a feeling or a foresight of something, it's usually that the way things are kind of moving in that direction. And it's very, very vague in terms of the timelines. Divine timing, very different to our constructs.
So then you got like Edgar Cayce, who was literally naming like dates all the time.
Yeah, but his recent ones have been really off.
Have they? I haven't really.
Yeah, and they're not. I don't necessarily believe those that say he said this particular day for everything, because a lot of his were very vague timelines as well. Well, like his whole
same deal. He did a lot already. 14,000. Yeah. 14,000 documented.
Yeah, and sometimes
documented, not just like that. Some of us there writing.
And sometimes you will be really accurate with your timing, because that lines up with the energy at the time. Like I know, doing tarot readings myself and connecting with clairvoyancy with my clients, there are sometimes that I can say to a client, by spring next year, I see blah, 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 because it's really clear in my vision for them. Yeah. And I won't say that unless it is clear, because I don't want to give them false time frames or anything like that. But if I see a definite kind of step in that direction, or something in my foresight for them, that's really clear with timing, which rarely does happen, like, but it does.
Yeah.
I will share that with them. And I've rarely been wrong with that because I don't do it unless it's really clear for me.
Yep.
But there'll be other vague things like it'll be kind of warm in the season or, but I can't tell you how far, or I've got 10, which means, it could be 10 weeks or 10 months. Like that we've got this vague distance in the future that's, definitely more than a couple of weeks away that you're going to have this, see this timeline eventuating here. So it can be really hard to read time.
Of course.
And
Time's
even,
weird. Time's not even what we think.
and
It's not the clock on the wall.
probably manipulated a bit too.
It's just, it's kind of a human invention, really. It's our concept of something we don't have a clue about.
And I reckon it's manipulated.
Everything can be.
And that's the whole Tesla thing, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But the whole Baba Vanga thing to me I found interesting was that she had an incident happen. Was it she get struck by lightning?
No, she got picked up by a
tornado.
That's right.
And she ended up losing
and she was thrown like a long way, 200 meters away. And this area, it doesn't get from normally. So very, very rare.
Bulgaria.
Yeah. And it was like a big enough, whirlwind tornado thing to lift up a human. It's got to be pretty big.
Yeah.
And it threw her, and she ended up being blind from injuries.
Wow.
Being thrown. And then, she started seeing all the stuff.
And the stuff she was seeing was really clear. She could see.
Like she's got vision.
Like she's got vision without the vision. And she even offered readings to Adolf Hitler. I remember that in the series, and him walking off upset and didn't reveal what she said.
Yeah.
But he was upset.
Said you're going to lose it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she was.
Lots of very famous people.
Yeah, they did. She
was very popular.
Outside her property. Yeah.
People just hope for a reading. They just turn up and wait weeks, sit down at the front door, which would be really annoying for Baba Vanga. Luckily she's flying.
Yeah.
But you hear the noise
She'd
of
feel
all those
the energy.
people.
She'd feel the energy.
Reporters and all these.
Oh, she'd feel the energy
everywhere. You'd be so over it.
And as somebody who does those one-on-one consultations, and I do have a very busy practice, people wait to get in. It is a lot on your time if they're physically there waiting.
Oh, could you imagine if they're all just sitting down front?
No.
I want to be on the waiting list. I'm just going to sit here. Come and tell me when I get to go.
They would if they were allowed to.
And then you got to pick someone.
Yeah.
God.
It was very different times. Whereas now you're literally you'll get a message and we'll book you an appointment.
Well, all the people turning up, they would give her offerings.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it was worth her time of day. As a blind person,
yeah,
it's a very good skill to have being a fortune teller.
Yeah.
Because all the locals fed her, they housed her, they did everything
she was
for
looked
her.
after well.
She was very looked after. So if she didn't get some sort of talent, she'd probably die very young, very early. This happened to her when she was 12 or 8 or something.
And then,
I don't remember.
Then she had another one where she had another incident, didn't she, where she lost her ability to walk very well.
Yeah.
Like she had a fall or something. I can't remember. But the series was so good because it gave you an idea of how she lived, where she lived. Very remote village.
Very remote. Very remote.
Very small, yeah.
Stone, old hand built.
And to me, they're the real kind of people that connect so powerfully to the ethereal, and that's what they do full time. So your strength gets better when you lose capability elsewhere, but also when you're humble within yourself. When you're not, if you ground yourself too much in riches and and fame and all of that kind of stuff, you actually lose that ability to connect to the ethereal. Yeah, no, she wasn't asking for much. She just survived. They provided her needs so she could do this work.
Oh, and it seems a bit more legit to me than about Nostradamus one. It was like Edgar Casey, same deal.
Yeah.
Had a problem, lost his voice.
Yes.
And by losing his voice, he got a reading. We got hypnotized by 2 different guys.
Yeah.
He got his voice back, saw visions, all crazy stories. But he was the same. He offered readings for free.
Yes.
And it took his whole life up. People would give him contributions, of course.
Yeah.
And, make him accept it just to get by.
Well, because otherwise
he devoted his life to it.
Yeah, and it was very hard times financially then.
He wasn't rich. So this is not some angelicus crazy Christian
who's
earning $1 million a week from this scam church that they run in. They're allowed to do that somehow.
Kind of like Barbara O'Neill being the evangelist. She's actually got lots of money behind her.
Yeah.
So she can just do it.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
When you're basically living really, really poor and you know you've got to tell people this stuff, that's legitimate to me. the first thing I want to know when I see a doco or a long story is that. I want to see where they live now and then. I want to know how many times they were married. All those boring things matter.
Yeah,
because
that
then
is the point.
you get a background truly of who you're listening to.
That's such a good point. Okay, so I was going to say that our experience with our clients is that they come in to our home and they see our humility. They see that we don't have a big grandiose house. They see that we live humbly. They see all of that.
Yeah.
It is that humility. You want to know that they're actually doing this for the right reasons, not because they're there to buy their next Ferrari or to get their next kickback from a new drug that comes out. Or and so when that's my clients, when they come to see me, they know that I'm not in this for the financial gain.
No.
Obviously. So, and I'm not. I'm genuinely not. You do need to be compensated for your work, especially in this modern economy, but it's not the main goal of why I'm doing this work.
No, it's not. No.
And you can see those when you walk into my home, you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm literally in my passion doing what I love to do because I genuinely want the results for those people.
Cool.
Right. And so that is where I see Baba Vanga. She genuinely wanted to help people.
Yes, she did.
Ego Casey wanted to help people. So there are lots of really good.
When Nostradamus, don't know.
No.
His life isn't really like that.
No.
He's some fake ass dude that they made up.
Yeah,
whatever.
Probably.
It was probably 3 or 4 people doing it.
Yes.
Or maybe more.
Yes.
All their heads would have been put together, and that's how they get so much content so quickly.
Yes.
And it's spot on. It's got an agenda.
Yes. Well, they create it afterwards, don't they? Like you said, it's a roadmap.
Yeah, it is. That's probably like the equivalent of the Freemasons' original guy who they wrote about. And look how famous he is. I can't believe if I do a dumb video, Nostradamus, people just watch it. I don't like him personally. I think it's policy. I don't like it. I don't trust it. It's more that I don't trust it that I don't like it. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But I feel like that there's something more to it, and it's not legit. Like some of these people are not legit.
No.
They're full on either entertainment, which is like weird now.
Yes.
Like they're telling stories to people.
Sarah and Albert Einstein is another review person who's totally set up psyop.
Totally.
I know he existed, but I feel like he was set up as a.
He did so many things to wreck humanity.
Yes.
His inventions were like destructive, and he worked for the government in
the atomic bomb
forever.
Hello.
And that's his main job.
Yes.
So I don't like that guy at all.
And he
touted trying to kill everyone.
And he touted Christianity as his thing, going on. So he touted Christianity as a positive thing too.
Yeah.
Not, whatever your beliefs, but that's interesting to me.
Yeah, there's an agenda. There's always is.
Yeah.
Well, I never heard Baba Vanga say much like she likes God.
Yes.
But she's not talking about which one.
No.
I can guess which one it is from where she lives or whatever.
Of course, but she's not acting.
And I didn't find it. My research, you were saying Edgar Casey was quite religious.
Very Christian, yes.
Yeah, but I don't read that. So
would you like me to read? Yes.
You'd have to read, some of them where he goes on about that. Because
he quotes the Bible a lot. Yeah, he's very Christian.
I don't know much about him.
Oh, okay.
I only kind of, looked into it a bit.
Very Christian based.
Yeah, I knew there'd be an agenda too there somewhere, but, Because sometimes it's like that. Edgar Casey could have just been in the church, using him like a missionary.
Yeah.
To do some work. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what.
But no. But he could also.
You never know. You never know.
Look,
these people who get put into fame instantly.
Yeah.
There's a backstory to that you're never going to know.
But I also.
It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That's obvious. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I don't think that Casey necessarily was fake. But I think religion is a hard nut to crack because it's so ingrained in people's philosophy.
It is.
So they're born believing
There's
this.
like 5 big ones in the world.
And
all the stories go back to that.
You're indoctrinated from birth, essentially, into a religion if you're religious. So it's something that even he might have struggled to get away from, but he really genuinely believed.
I don't know. I haven't read enough.
Very much came from that Christian background and very much spoke of Christian ethos when he was making predictions.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of it was very biblical for him. Yeah.
Yeah, because I find they're probably quite edited out these days, depending on the source.
Yes.
The source that I'm looking at don't like religion generally. Generally. It's not the things that I look at aren't anything to do with channels or anything.
Of course, and then looking at the prediction side of what he said.
Their version, whether in writing, video, whatever.
But his
I haven't come across that much. It didn't come across like that.
And if you look at the nature, even some of the stuff that that he did predict there was the element of God, and he quoted the Bible in most of his predictions.
Yeah.
So he was quite almost evangelistic about it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't also discredit what he does because, as I said,
he's like legit dude. If he's a legit dude, he's awesome. I was quite impressed.
Yeah.
Quite impressed with what he said. He wasn't all doomy and gloomy.
No, he had
He does say bad shit happens, but he was more
he said
focused
he
on.
wanted that, and that's exactly why a lot of these people that have had NDEs and things like that, and they talk about this change that's coming for humanity, which is basically where we're going to have this spiritual evolution of consciousness, and it sounds quite positive to me.
Oh, look, something better happen.
Yeah, well, it's either that way or
we're not going to be here soon if something doesn't happen real quick.
Yeah,
real fucking quick. Everyone's been a bunch of monkeys.
But I think everybody forgets that 100 years ago the world was in much even worse shape. Worse. So imagine living in that time. Imagine. Oh, I couldn't imagine World War One and then Great Depression and World War Two. Like imagine being in that generation of people.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where we're going, I feel.
Yes.
That it's going to be in a similar line if it gets worse before it gets better, so to speak.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes that deconstruction to bring and unite people together. Yeah.
You got to reset pretty hard. You can't.
It's like a healing crisis.
You can't reset softly.
Like a healing crisis, right?
Yeah.
When you're ill, if you need to get better, it's going to take time. You're going to feel like you're getting worse before you get better. But there's some process in your body trying to reassimilate, isn't there? So I feel like that with consciousness too. People are going to have to have some darker times to rise through the ashes and get stronger.
Will you send me the link today about Walter Russell?
Yeah.
So Walter Russell's like he's more.
So you had a look, did you?
Yeah, he's more of a scientific prophet.
Same timing as all the
so he's guys. Like an Einstein prophet.
Yes, opposite of Einstein almost.
He is like a Tesla kind of guy.
Yes, yeah.
So he's very he's less prophet, but like Tesla was the same. He was quite a prophet.
Yes.
He said so many things that came true.
The reason why Walter Russell I really liked was because he spoke about the same thing as Casey in the end.
It is
of the evolution of health of
not for everyone, not generally for everyone.
No, for those who feel
once that striving, you get there.
Yeah,
and like you do get there.
Yeah,
you win in the end, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of destruction and shit.
But it's also this calmness in people that are very spiritual, no matter what timeline you evolve into, where you develop this. I don't know if you have it as well, but I have this sense of knowing that when you know your spirit is intact, when you know that your soul is intact, when you know that nothing they can do will touch the sides of that, there's this calmness in you that they can do whatever they like out there, but there's this solidarity of spiritual awareness.
Yeah, I say it like I don't because I'm confident within my environment generally.
Yeah,
I make it that. You're not. You don't have fear. No. You're not like walking around worrying about everything. No. Don't worry about anything.
No.
Take it on. And if shit turns up and tries to bend you, break it.
Yes.
Don't take anything. And don't take shit from anyone.
No.
And that's half everyone's problem.
But yeah, so I believe that even Baba Vanga, some of her predictions that she's talked about that haven't come to pass yet, which are about the surveillance. That's one of the ones. Did you read that one about the shadows?
Who are we talking about? Sorry.
Baba Vanga.
Yep.
And she predicted that we won't know the shadows anymore, and that's been interpreted. Oh my God, you've got two big scratches up there, and that's not your side that I worked on today. So it's not from me.
I just feel it in.
Put it up on the camera so you can have a look at it. You'll see it. Turn around. Yeah, they're really big lines. Go that way a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I'm outside of the camera that way. Yeah, that should show it. Yeah, and have a look later. Because they're really big lines.
Really?
Did you rub against something or scrape it at the fire? Or?
No, I just felt the thing.
That's weird.
Literally, and it's growing. It's there.
Oh, you've had this before. No, they're like actual raised scratches, like you've been scratched and they're stopping. They're not moving. Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, that's what they are. But they're like, it's like someone just went like that.
Well, I'm not.
And that side of your body, I didn't even work on that.
Feeling around the spot, there's no glass around them.
No.
And I haven't like slid up and down.
That's what it looks like.
Random.
And I worked on you today, but I didn't run up your bum like that.
No.
And on that side, I worked on your right side, but I only did the top part of your little bit.
It was a bit random. Anyway.
And I only just come on.
It just felt it.
They are big, long scratches up your bum.
It just hurt.
And you've had it before. So it's like
really
an entity or something scratches you. I know this sounds crazy, but it's happened before.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's when in the kitchen.
Yeah, you were washing up.
Scratched my back.
And it's like
literally.
And you said, "What's that?" Oh, and I lifted it up and he had back scratches. And it was after we'd been to your mum's.
Yeah.
Weird. I wonder what's happening there. I wonder if she's revolting against him or something and you're fucking it.
Pretty random. I don't like it. I'm annoyed on it.
Do you have a feeling of like that energy around you? Or?
Couldn't give a fuck.
No,
I'm when I said it's like
I just give a fuck.
Fucking don't anyone do anything.
And then they do it.
And then you
fuck. Matt physically gets attacked. He does. It's so weird that they do that to you.
It sounds like bullshit.
No,
and maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a
that's what I'm asking. Did you rub up against something or scrape yourself as you walk across?
It just hurt.
And it's literally like, on your bum.
It's like, ow. It's
and he's like proper scratches.
I know.
Like, and it looks like even if I did it, I'd have to dig my nails right in. That. And you would feel it.
And they feel like perfect lines.
They are. They are. But they're like the cats did it or something. That's what it looks like. Like
normally you'd know that happened.
Yeah, if I did it to you, I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry."
But I'm literally sitting here. That area is off the spa. It's not even touching.
It's really raised. Like it's like cat scratches. It looks like that.
It
looks like 2 cat scratches up your bum.
Random. I'll give it one more viewing.
And it's almost. Yeah, so you got to move that way a little bit. Oh. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, you're right in front now. Yeah, it's no, go forward a bit because it's too zoomed in.
Oh.
Move this way. Yep, yep, that's it. You'll be able to see it. Yes, right here. Yeah, and then see them and they're not moving up with you. They're just like the cat scratch.
Still sore. Like
they look sore. They look at your point. So
yeah, apple.
It is weird.
It's random.
And it doesn't look like it's not. It doesn't look like when you had the histamine. Remember when you had that parasite?
No, it's not. It's nothing like that.
And you got that rush up your body?
No, this just happened not like that.
That was weird. Remember your histamine in your body?
It's got scratched.
So that night, one night, we were in the spa. We had it quite hot. I think it was one of the 39, 40 degree spas. And we went inside and Matt had this like line of red rash go up his leg, like all the way up his leg, all the way outside of his back. And it was moving up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was full on.
And you were feeling like really woozy and it was like you were coming, he did have a parasite infection. We found out about a week later. I did a store test and he had like parasites that he picked up shopping or whatever from, I'm not going to say those people that go and get those things, but that. And it was pretty bad histamine reaction, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really knocked your body around. Yeah. But that doesn't look like that. It's different.
No, that was all
2 scratches up your bum. Yeah. And it's almost near where you got the ciggy burns.
Yeah.
It's like someone who's pissed off at you was like, stop. I have seen a black figure over you too. Remember I shared with you in our room?
What about black figures over me? Thank you.
No, I didn't jinx you. I wasn't doing it. Don't blame me.
I bring them in.
I got rid of them for you.
Oh,
what? You bring them in yourself. What are you talking about? It's probably your soul leaving your body or something.
No, just obey my masters. I don't question.
It's like I
don't dare question the masters. Don't worry about it.
The leprechaun tells me to burn things.
That's right. Don't worry about it.
Tells me to burn things.
Yeah, all the time. Literally like hide the matches for myself.
Or get the matches and make fire. We're sitting in fire now.
Yeah, I've seen
and it burns. It is lovely. I'm actually going to have to.
It's a wood-fired spa. I know I say it 100 times, so lots of people wouldn't even know what we're doing. But we're not just sitting in a normal spa.
That's so weird that we had a spiritual thing while we're in the spa.
Yeah.
That
is a bit odd.
Sorry.
And so it's like chilling in our spa, like $100 spa. And we got a baker's oven over there cooking dinner. It's cooking a
beef ragu.
beef ragu, so that's pretty good.
Making that with some gnocchi too.
And it's in like a can cast iron kind of thing.
Yeah, in a camp oven.
Like a very, very hot fire oven.
It'll be beautiful.
So it keeps it runs our spa.
Yeah.
So pretty much for free. It's probably cheaper still with the price of electricity now to cook in actual wood
and
fires.
to heat this as well.
And because it's cooking and heating. And a spa is a big thing to heat up. Like
it takes a lot of energy.
Help, but today this came up from 12 degrees because we haven't been in it for a few days.
And it'll be -2.
And it's like -2 at night, so it gets really cold. Doesn't matter what sort of cover you have, it's going to get cold. And 12 degrees up to sitting now 34.
Yeah, it's
pretty much just run off like a couple of logs.
Yeah.
Like it's a little fire, so it doesn't need a lot of wood.
No.
And it's amazing. Like the best dinners ever. It's just hard to explain.
And it's just the fire kind of gives it that smokiness, but it's because of the heat of the oven. It's really even temperatured because
awesome.
It's
Wood's
just
the best
coming
cooking.
down from the top. Oh, it is.
Wood's the best heating and cooking.
Oh, how were those chops last
They're not allowed to go and get wood anymore. No, you can't go.
I love that we saw someone
anymore.
getting some. I was like, go, dude, you go. Yeah. And in the broad daylight of middle of Friday, go for it. Who's going to stop you? Oh, no.
Lots of people. But then I mentioned it was hot.
Yeah, but we got February as well. We usually do twice a year. July's not that bad. Like it's middle of the year. Fine. It's a big detox.
The way out of it's camping and stuff.
Yeah, but they have school holidays in July, so that's why we do dry July generally because we usually don't go places much and and then August, September's busy. Because birthdays and I booked away. I want to go away on our birthdays.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. They book on our birthdays.
Yeah.
I want to try maybe a rainforest one or something.
Yeah. Well, we got the heater and everything.
Yeah.
That works. And it works really well. It's fucking hot.
And September days can be a lot like 20s, 21, like warmer. Yeah. And the nights can still be cool, but they're not like this. Like
no, they're not like -2.
I mean, you get cold snaps occasionally.
The -2 is a bit
but it's rare. It's rare in September. Like by then, it's spring's normally starting to spring.
Yeah.
And you get 8s overnight and stuff. So it's still cool, but your diesel and your that will keep you warm,
Yeah. Yeah, the diesel's amazing. On speed, like using +4.
Yeah, so I'd like to book that place. The one we looked at didn't have any reception. Yeah. Our little thing might, but we know in Paradise Valley it didn't.
Yeah, no.
But we can do lots of B-roll. B-roll's beautiful.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pre-recorded B-roll.
Yeah.
It'll give us a chance to do it. And if we go during the week, it'll be nice.
Getting ready now.
I reckon something's going down with your mum. I reckon because she nearly left him. That was the weekend she nearly left him when you got the scratch because that light just flashed as well.
I know, that's all day.
Yeah. Fuck off. You're not welcome here. Leave. Leave. Light doesn't welcome dark. Leave. There you go. I just witnessed a bit of witchiness, but no, fuck off. You're not welcome here. Be gone. I bring light. No dark.
On the dark.
No, the dark's gone. Tell it.
What?
Tell it.
It's just busy.
You don't want his fucking dark. Tell it to go away. It's weak.
It's cool.
It's weak. And if she does leave you, so be it. You deserve it. I hope it goes down. I hope you're left isolated. It's just weird that last time she nearly left him, this same thing happened.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing happened because we got home and it was literally the night that we got home, the day we got home.
Yeah.
You were washing up and the scratches appeared and all the phenomena happened. And I did a clearing.
Yep.
Do a clearing on camera tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do a live. We didn't do it live last time.
No.
When I did a clearing, did we?
No, we didn't have all the gear.
I could do a live. I could do that. We do it in the kitchen. I cleared the energy out. I know that we do out, but
it's fine.
it works though. It works. Up to a light thing on here. I don't get a choice now. It's letting making me work. And weirdly, look.
What?
Look at the cameras.
What do they do?
Look.
Why don't me?
Isn't that weird?
Why don't me? Don't focus on me.
That is weird.
Yeah, it shouldn't do that.
It's never done that.
No.
And it's doing the red thing, and that's the good camera. What the hell?
Yeah.
Did you flick the cameras? Is that the shitty one on that side? No.
It shouldn't be.
And it's got your face tracked, and it's active. See?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I didn't even notice when it did that.
No.
And the other one's moving and stealthy.
But they're both on you, honey.
Yeah, I know.
You're definitely a target.
And the other one's jumping around, like the left one. The right one's got the error kind of thing, almost like.
Yeah.
But the left side one is doing its weird thing where it jolts as though it is face tracking when it was never turned on.
Well, can you say it out loud?
Be gone.
Yeah, bring the light to yourself.
I'll bring some fucking
light. Light's much more powerful. It's bright. And you're not welcome here. So you can try and target him all you want, but you've got no power over him. So waste your fucking time, all right?
Yeah.
You're threatened by his energy and it's not going to work. That is so fucking weird. That's never happened. It's telling you you're a target. Hi. And it was all caught on camera too.
It was. There's been like 3 things.
Yep. That was interesting that they both went to you. The scratch,
the light,
and
the camera just jumped.
And the camera jumped to you.
And I got red ear.
Yeah, you read it too. 3 things.
So my ear's gone really red, like someone's talking about me.
And it's down that way.
And literally, the thing we suspect lives about where this ear would actually be.
So this is a family member's partner. This is who we're dealing with. And this family member nearly left this person very close to Matt. So Matt is the target here for this person. This person has an attachment. They're a very weak individual. They have no power. They've been overtaken by a demonic entity. So I do a lot of work in clearing demonic entities and clearing whatever energy we need to clear. I'm not fearful of them. And this entity has attached to this person because the energy of this person is very weak. And they've had this attachment for a long time. So they exude darkness. And this person came into the family when we had retreated very opportunistically and came in and took hold of this family member. And so we knew that Matt would be the target because Matt's strength.
We fought straight away.
This person straight away started going for Matt because of Matt's energy. So we knew there was a demonic entity attached to this person. So we have been retreating. We haven't been doing anything to ignite it. We've tried to keep in contact with this other family member who was quite close to us. But in the end, this family member succumbed to the demonic energy. So has been under the spell of this energy. So we have been isolated from this family member, or we've had distance between us because it's been too difficult with the presence of this energy. Every time there's a disparity between this family member and this partner, Matt gets attacked. So this demonic entity tries to attack Matt. Doesn't have any power over, can't do anything, although physically getting attacked is very fucking annoying. In a violation.
We were just talking before about the last time we went there.
Yes.
Stayed there.
Yes.
And we came home.
Yeah.
And cleaning up.
It was a mega event though. Mega event.
Yeah. We've
gone down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt was literally like centered on, and it was over absolutely nothing. And the family member saw it all unfold.
They were trying to make me punch people in the head.
But you didn't.
They wanted me to use violence.
Didn't do anything. And didn't play into this energy's hands. And Matt's smarter than that. He didn't play into anyone's hands at all. Like, none of that. So Matt was like, whatever, mate, blah, blah, blah. And the family member saw it all unfold. And so family member wanted to leave the entity because felt powerful in our presence. But unfortunately, as we left, our energy waned. and this entity felt attacked, so targeted Matt. So Matt was standing there cooking, well, washing up, weren't you?
Yeah, only a few hours after.
Yeah, after we got home. And literally a scratch formed. Similar area around the top of your back. A bit higher
on my back.
But top part of his back.
Standing at the sink,
and he felt the scratch.
And I felt it just like I had before.
Yeah, I need to stand it straight back.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, literally scratched in real time. And so this scratch looks very similar to what
the movie.
It is like Amityville horror or something. Yeah. But we're stronger than that anyway. That's why this entity attacks you, because we're strong. But I've just sent the energy away, and I will not have this energy around us. And I will be doing a light, what we call a light thing in our house, which is where I shroud somebody in light to protect them. And I'll be doing that for Matt tonight. So it's just,
kinky.
Well, he will. It actually isn't anything but, isn't it, really? It's quite calming. And I'll put a meditation up in our members area because I feel like it's a lovely one to fall asleep to, and it actually protects you from dark energy. And anyone who's wishing you ill, it's quite a positive thing to do. Darkness can't penetrate light. And it's funny that our room's quite illuminated and one of the lights flickered because they always try to turn out your light.
Yeah.
Can you just stir that, Stu? I'm sorry, but it's just getting really...
All right. One more sip.